Yeah, Rich, just let us know when you are about to start. It kind of sounds like you just did.
Hi, folks.
All right, well, hi, everybody.
Yep, greetings.
We still haven't switched away from the away message, but Rich Jammer's art stream, which will begin soon, begins now.
Just go with Wishy.
I am effectively this event's MC to a degree. I took a break during Candle's section, and thanks to Candle for holding it down, Arcanel as well. But yeah, other than that, I'm the event MC. So what's up?
Yep. Just go with the Wishy. Like Klex Yoshi is like a legacy thing from like 2001 when I discovered the interwebs. I may have just instantly dated myself.
Yo, you know what though? I date myself constantly. I don't know if that's a great sentence, but we're gonna go with it. I am constantly talking about, I'm a little bit in the 30s and stuff, so like it's fine, and that's good when we're older fighting game players still trying to work it out. We're not even really older. I mean, you guys got guys like Alex Baye, Daigo, those guys are like, please, son, these guys were in the 90s, in the arcades.
Yeah, they're gonna there's gonna be a point where like Daigo's gonna just be Goken.
Yeah, it really will be.
I just figured out that I am muted. I was muted on the stream, and I can hear myself echoing right now. But I was muted on the stream, so people on the stream wouldn't have heard me. So
absolutely fantastic.
This is technical issues already. So yeah,
but hey, that's why we're working it out right now.
Sorry, this is Rich Jammer, host of the stream, and Song's my co-host, but he'll be leading the stream later when we switch to Castle Crashers and later FF Asia.
For those of you who don't know, Song is equals FivebyFive. Prior
Sorry.
name. Wishy is not the only one with a prior name. I have definitely. So there's plenty of people in the community that will still call me Song or Song Hacker, but for the most part, I switched over to FivebyFive. So.
And I'm the opposite. My internet handle's been Rich Jammer since I don't know.
Since Windjammers came out.
Windjammers, no, since way before that. But it was
Windjammers came out of the Neo Geo though, didn't it?
Like, really?
Did.
In the 90s, man. I don't know if you would realize how old Windjammers is, boy.
Really? Yeah, I did not know that.
It was re-released recently.
Yeah,
in the 2010s.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's get into Klex's art. Oh wait, that is the finished version, unfortunately. Wait, let's go.
Yeah, I kind of set a couple of work in progresses as I was doing this because I actually did this within the last 24 hours, folks.
Okay, let's begin with this. Do you do this? Can you mute the stream for a sec, someone? Because I could hear myself.
I totally have the stream muted.
I have my stream muted as well. I'm not sure how you would be hearing it through. Like I've got headphones on, so
yeah, I've got headphones on as well. So
you are getting an echo somewhere on your side, in all likelihood.
All right, I've turned everyone down just a little bit, so maybe that might help. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, this. Can you see the art? In case you're
I totally see it. I totally see my chicken scratch there. I sketch very messily.
Do you? This looks like it was done on a computer. So because I noticed.
Yeah,
I know some of your stuff you do it on paper first, and then you transfer it or something.
Sometimes. That's how I used to do a lot of my way old stuff. I used to have a scanner. It broke a long time ago, but sometimes I'll like just take a picture with my phone of my sketchbook and then clean up that way. But no, this is entirely digital. I do a majority of my work through Paint Tool Sci.
Okay. So you use a tablet? Do you use one?
Yeah.
Do you use one of those with a screen, or just like what do you call those two? Because there's one that's not a screen, and there's one that's a screen.
The thing you're thinking of with the screen is called a Cintiq, and like knockoffs of the Cintiq. I can't afford one of those. They only recently came out with a cheaper consumer model. Like I want to say it was like a year ago, and that cheaper consumer model is like $800.
Yeah, like Hacked Life said Bamboo Gang. Yeah, I used to have that bamboo
I have a bamboo pen that I've had since like 2010. It's actually really
they discontinued that, didn't they?
They might have. Like I said, I got this in 2010, and the pen cracked on the bottom, so it's like wrapped in electrical tape. It's great. It looks so homely, but it works great.
So wait, sorry. So you don't use the one with the screen?
No, I do not use a Cintiq.
I was fortunate enough for my brother. Like, so the thing is, my brother, he's like I wouldn't say he's a professional artist. He works like, but he can do art stuff. He's like in advertising like that. But he's an art director. But I was fortunate enough for him to buy a Wacom Cintiq with the screen, like 13-inch. And he said, I don't like it. Here, you can have it.
Now I'm jelly.
That's like, and at the time it's like $1,000 or something like that. It was like,
it would have. Yeah.
I think that thing is like really old, but it's still. Okay, since we're looking at the chicken scratch, is this your first sketch, or did you have to do multiple to do this one?
There is a step I do before this, which is that I like do gesture drawings and try to gesture things out, use very basic shapes, try and figure out where the basic forms are going to be going. It actually took me a few times to get the gesture right on this, because I wanted to get a good angle on Terry Zona's arm to like be to be like stomping down, but still have a little bit of that forward thrust that you like see when Terry in the SNK games does like Power Geyser or Triple Geyser or such. So I wanted to capture that, and it took me a few tries to like just kind of figure out the angle that her arm should go down and how the rest of her posture should work in a way that still looks believable and not like she has stocky little hind legs.
Wait, sorry,
Did you miss all that?
No, I mean, kind of, because I'm chatting to someone. Sorry, I lost my track of thought. Oh, is there a visual glitch on the stream? Sorry.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of one right now.
Oh yeah, I see it. Oof. Hopefully that's not too distracting. Yeah, because I might have to go to screen capture. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. That's weird. I've never seen that before.
It's only happening now. I didn't have.
It's weird because it's like it's cutting your little the art browser window, and it's just going into your background. Yeah, if you cut the back, well, see, now it's just going black.
Now there's just blackness.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something weird with the window capture. It's fine.
Can you? You have any questions? Real quick, Five.
Do I have any questions? I don't know, like I'm assuming, this is just an assumption. It could be completely wrong. I mean, obviously, King of Fighters has been a huge series for so long. Like the whole idea, the name works so well. Terry Zona, Terry himself. I've been saying, "Are you okay, Buster Wolf?" for so long. Anytime anybody asks me that, "Are you okay?" I can't help but say Buster Wolf. But was this art kind of timed and inspired by Terry's inclusion in Smash?
Yes, very much so. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of talk of Terry Bogard in particular. Like not just that, but also he was recently in Fighting EX Layer.
Yeah, of course.
And
Flexel. They missed the opportunity to call that game Flex. Like they really messed that one up, but it's Fexel.
Oh wow. But yeah, he's in there, and then just showing up in Smash. A lot of people have had a lot of questions about Terry, his legacy and stuff. Maximilian, dude, if you're familiar with his content, he's been.
No, I have no idea who Max is. Yeah, I've never played a fighting game in my life.
There might be someone out there.
There's probably someone out there. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's been doing his Terry Bogard legacy, and that's been great. You can tell how unacclimated he is to just the cheapness of SNK games, and so I
really haven't played I haven't played them at a knowledgeable fighting game level. I played them just because I liked fighting games at the time, and I liked SNK's designs. Like this works so well. The more I look at this, I personally prefer the pencil sketch, but I do also like your finished colors. Like I like the inks, the flat inks. I just. It's like something about flat inks don't always work for me, but when your finished colors look great.
K9.
So
K9's the pursuit is
K9. Yeah, well, K9's a dirty smasher. So and so am I. Hey, so am I. But I guess I kind of abandoned Smash. I don't know. I'm still watching. Anyways, back on track. Yeah. So
Wait, sorry for spacing out on you, Klex, because there's some technical issues that I had to address.
Yeah, you're trying to solve them. That's totally cool.
Hopefully it's fixed now. Oh, by the way, someone donated. Anonymous tipped $20 6 minutes ago. Sorry for whoever this was for being 6 minutes late. And they said, "Yo, Terry Bogard, Arizona, lol, nice. Shoutouts to Smash and JG Wishy."
Well, thank you. That
JG. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Good.
Oh, sorry, GJ.
Job good.
Job good.
But yeah, I kind of think I lost the track of thought there with but you were talking about Max. You were talking about Max's Terry Legacy series.
Yeah, he's been doing that. So I've just had a lot of Terry Bogard in the mind, and there's obvious comparisons to draw between how he draws his power from the earth and does a lot of punching the ground in Arizona, stomping on people and doing storm loops.
Yeah, and Arizona also has. I mean, it's a super, but it's kind of like a Buster Wolf. She has, her rushing super. So, and then also when you brought this up in chat, I was immediately thinking of my favorite SNK character, and I was trying to draw parallels to Velvet, like freaking King. I love King. So you should make an image of Velvet doing I don't know. So the King moves don't really work. They're all kicks, but some sort of Velvet tornado kick, tornado ice or whatever.
Yeah, I thought about maybe doing Velvet as Athena Samaya or something.
I thought about Athena, but it's she doesn't really. I mean, I don't know. I feel like King's more of a zoner than Athena.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're more apt going with mature or Vice or something.
Yeah. I can see that with the stretchy stuff. I don't know about much. I don't know as much about mature, but I've played with Vice. A lot of what I knew came from Capcom versus SNK 2. So,
and yeah, a lot of people got their knowledge of SNK.
Oh yeah,
CVS.
CVS too. Yeah.
I think my first exposure was one of my friends rented KOF 98 or something. And like or maybe it was 99. I remember K-Dash. That's what I remember.
You like the cool, like the too cool for school characters.
At the time, I was a little squirt, but yeah, I remember K-Dash. I remember Maxima looking like a box.
Yeah,
he kind of does.
I like Maxima more now that I'm older than when I was younger. But all right, let's see. Let's see if we can. Like, what do you have? Some other art that some other stuff to
Wait,
to highlight?
Sorry, I want to go on further with this. Like, okay, so
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just look at how I progressed. I feel like inking is probably one of my weaker skills. Like, I spend so long inking. It's a little bit demoralizing, but like the thing that you get when you're doing art that you don't get when you're doing a fighting game is you get Control Z.
yeah. You ever get that thing, like a lot of people I talk to, like they do this in real life, like they're drawing on paper or something and they do something and they just instinctively press Control Z even though if there's no keyboard.
I find that happening recently when I do traditional stuff where I'm like I wish, and I'll like draw Control Z in the corner and like touch it, and then people look at me like an insane person.
So in your inking, I noticed there isn't much change, and I mean, okay, there is some change from the previous one, but like for me, like sometimes it'll look really good in the sketch, but when I convert it to line art, it's like it's missing something. Like,
yeah, that can happen. That can happen quite a bit. A lot of it like comes from like use of line weight in your sketch where it may not be, and like details being fudgier than they do when you clean them up, and then you look at them clean it, it's just like, oh, that looks kind of bad. One example that is a bit of a change, if you go back to the sketch for a moment, is like I kind of tried to bring down her brow a little bit more to up the hot-blooded feeling expression in her face, because it was kind of soft there, and then like bringing up the angle just a bit, I felt like did wonders for that.
You also removed the line of her eye there towards the bottom.
Yeah. I totally had that in the sketch where I just didn't do that because I knew I wasn't gonna bother having to like try and clean that up when I did flat colors. So I was like, I'll just ink in the extra bit under her eye. It'll be
fun. Right. I went the other way around. Yeah. This is how much a little I know about art. You were going from pencils to inking, and yeah, you added the underline there.
Mm-hmm. Also, another thing I fixed is like the star on the back of the jacket looked a little awkward to clean that up some, and
you also added little hooves on the feet.
yeah. Because I noticed I forgot that in the sketch. I was like, oh, I should probably add that. She has hooves for Storm, and I should probably make sure that's a detail that's in there. So,
do you use the same program for this ink, or?
Yeah, totally. I do have a little bit of a habit where I just use a normal layer because Paint Tool Sai actually does have a pretty good vectoring tool, but I just don't use it because I feel it's kind of awkward to work with in conjunction with other layers. So, I don't want to like develop like crutch on that so much to where like if I had to ink IRL, I'm just doomed. So I try to practice like just doing inks on a normal layer so that I can actually do them IRL if I ever had to.
Well, me personally, I use Adobe Illustrator because I use the pen tool for the line art. Then I like spend hours editing the little details of the line.
Yeah, that's exactly what the vectoring tools in Sai do.
Yeah, I should like try it out. Anyway,
size kind of weird. Just as a fair warning, it doesn't have any sort of like font tools at all. So if you're gonna get Psy, pay for Psy too. They fixed that.
Oh, Hack says Vector Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. So these color choices, did you because like what I do a lot is I just ink dropper it and then select. But do you eyeball the colors or do you put your own?
No. I totally wanted to be accurate and made sure I lifted the proper flats from their appropriate sources. Although I try never to work in pure whites or pure blacks. So I actually, you'll notice that any whites that are here are slightly off white, and that the gloves, which are normally like Terry Bogard wears black gloves, and I made them like a dark blue to stand out from the inks.
Yeah, that's the issue I find a lot in like someone will have like a black t-shirt, like, and a lot of times you can't see the outlines because they're also black. Like you see,
yeah.
Like you see,
I avoid that like the plague. That is like rule number 1 for me. Don't work in pure whites or pure blacks.
I seen like some like you watch like say a lot of cartoons like say like Daffy Duck or like Johnny Bravo's black shirts, like they'll change the outline color to like dark blue or something so that you could actually see the outlines.
Yeah, that too. I used to do colored outlines on some of my older art, but it turned out to be too time consuming. I have a method I could use to make that a little better, but also colored outlines really don't work for how I do shades and highlights. So I avoid them now, even though in hindsight, I think I should have probably tried to go for colored outlines on the hit spark on the power geyser. Cause the black kind of stands out to me a little bit much and kind of ruins the organic feeling on the geyser, in my opinion. But that's something I noticed late into the process. I'm like, I sometimes you just gotta worry about getting it done rather than sitting there and nitpicking every little thing. I notice as an artist, so
yeah, like because like that's a lot of thing I find with artists, like they they will obsess over, especially even me, like they'll obsess over a little thing like I don't want to release this. So a lot of times you'll have like perfectly fine art that never gets released because like even me, you'll see there's a lot, and like a lot of artists pieces of art that they'll never release because they just don't think it's good, even though it's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's go on further. So they're shading and all this. So
yeah, I just want to say real quick that for this one, I love the lighting that you have, like the highlights that give the lighting effect from the flame.
Yes, that's something that like what I'm pretty much self-taught for the most part. I didn't do any formal training outside of like a high school course or two. So a lot of what I learned to do was emphasize light and shadow to like achieve a lot of the shape and fullness to my pictures, because I don't think they're that impressive and like inked or flat form. So I try my hardest to like really bring out the fullness of the piece when I'm doing shading.
Did you ever study chiaroscuro?
What's that?
No.
What's
that is the concept in art. It's like a Renaissance concept, or a little bit after the Renaissance, of contrast between light and dark, commonly seen in like Caravaggio paintings. He's like the guy who invented it. It was common in oil painting.
Yeah, I may not. I don't think I've studied it directly, but like just a lot of what I've done, a lot of how I really learned is like watching my friends and mentors do their thing, and then like picking up what techniques I can and converting them into my own style and try and make it my own. And so that's how I kind of got here. What I specifically do to achieve this effect is a lot of like layer settings in Paint Tool Sci. Like I use like multiply layers and kind of just start by putting in like just filling the whole layer with shade, and then from there I'll like start filling in where light will fall on the subject, and then I'll use luminosity layers to amplify that and like kind of go over it in a few layers. It's like putting on layers of paint, kind of. So
do you play around with the colors of the shadows? Because like a tip that they always give is don't use like gray colors and then put a multiply on it.
Yeah. Yes. Because I always will try and go for the light source's complement, which usually lights come in like a yellowy spectrum, a yellowy oranges spectrum. So I'll generally like tend to blues and violets for my shadows.
Yeah, like my brother, like he said, like here's a tip, like don't use grays. And he also said don't use dark blues, like use purples. Like when I'm lazy, I use like the purple for the shadows and all that, and then I just play around with the blending to get the feel I like. And depending on the light source, just switch out the color with like purple or with something else.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually noticing something I forgot to put in this picture. Basically, I'll usually do like one more highlight layer for like spots where like the light spikes and shines the brightest, like eye shines and stuff. But I kind of feel that since kind of feel it works here, since in them's Fightin herds, they don't really use like those sorts of highlights on the eyes and stuff like they do for the characters that were in the previous game. So yeah, I think it's fine, but I just realized I forgot to do like highlighted spots that I normally do to like make things look glossy and awesome.
Okay. You got anything else you want to talk about this piece?
I other than just the over the I had fun trying to kind of envision what the TFH logo would look like in the Fatal Fury font. And kind of putting it on the hat. That was a fun bit. I was talking before we started about the pun here where when Terry does triple geyser, he usually like for the longest time I was wondering like what the heck does he say? It's like overheat geyser or something, but I don't know. It always sounded like Roman Keat Geisa or something. I was like, what the huh? So I don't know. I always that always stuck out to me, the line for triple geyser, and then I just was thinking about how when you go into training and slow things down and go for a stomp, it's like yee! So I was like, okay, that's how this comes together. That's the glue that holds this pick together in my mind.
Yeah, you and the Five were talking earlier, like before the stream, like what? Because I was not there. What was the question you asked, Five? Hello, is he there?
Yeah, I'm here. I sat up, or I got out of the chair for just a minute, and I'm trying to remember what my question was. We were talking about. Oh, I think I was just asking about the inspiration because, like, I'm used to it being power case. Not, and I forgot about the desperation version because
Yeah.
So this is the desperation version here.
Yep.
So I'm not familiar with King
Fatal
of Fighters
Fury.
or Fatal Fury.
Like
so
you
what is
get
that?
basically in Fatal Fury, when you're low on health, you just get unlimited supers.
Oh, really?
You just get unlimited supers. It's dumb.
That sounds like fun. I would.
Yeah, you can just spam it all day, and like and starting in like Fatal Fury 3 and Real Bout, like you start getting powered up version of supers, like because usually Terry just does one that shoots at the ground, but it's like a 3-wave thing. It's kind of like it's kind of like a pillar that moves forward a little bit with how it pops out. So I guess a little bit like Velvet Super, if anything. But still, I thought it was neat, and it worked in my mind also because of the wrecking nature of stomps, and yeah, that's kind of how I got on the idea where it's like, yeah, I should totally do Arizona as Terry. That's what I'll do for my pick I make specifically to introduce to this stream. So yeah. Also, I cheated on the background.
Oh yeah, that's what I noticed. What is that?
It kind of looks like an arena. Is it a?
It is Terry's stage from Fatal Fury special. But
definitely something from SNK.
I tried to smooth over the pixels so that maybe it's familiar but not immediately apparent, and it's transformative enough to where SNK Playmore doesn't come after me.
I mean, even if it's obvious, I don't think they would come for it anyway.
Yeah, fair.
Fair
enough.
What was I gonna say again? Now I'm just gonna put it here for a sec, so you could. Our other guest canceled last minute, so if you want to stick around, please do. And I got some more questions for you.
I was actually in the background. I was working on seeing if we could get a different guest, but I'm gonna keep working on that. So
we only have 20 minutes left though, so.
Wow, I took up that much time.
No, it's fine. I was actually intentionally extending it. So I got some questions for you. I have a list. Trying to be professional here, even though I messed up the stream a bit back there. So okay, so what brought you into Dem's Fighting Herds?
Gosh, I was kind of on and off following the previous game, and going through the ups and downs. I heard about the whole thing with trying to bring it to Evo, and I was like, this seems like a bad idea, and then it was. So when I started hearing all the miracle talk, like Lauren Faust getting on for Them's Fighting Herds, and Mike Z deciding to lend a hand to help with funding Squiggly and the rest of Second Encore, I was like, okay, yeah, this is great. And so I ultimately ended up being a backer. I did not get in on the beta, but I started watching Fightin Foenatics match commentary and being like, this is so cool. I want to try and play it. And then like the thing is that I jumped in and I immediately started playing Velvet, and I immediately started like having lots of hand cramps because you got to do a lot of DP.
Oh, don't. Yeah, I mean, you're talking to the right person right here. So,
and I'm like, okay, I cannot continue to play this game. I hurt myself. So I took a long hiatus, but then I started coming back again because Aaron started getting more streams out, and then they did Salt Mines 2.0. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I want to play it, but it hurts my hands so badly. So like I finally took the dive on something I've wanted to for years, and I'm like, I've been curious about stick, and I know people are like, don't feel pressured to play stick. Like that's still true, but like for someone who's hurting, like give something a shot. You may be pleasantly surprised, and I think I've actually managed to like feel much better playing stick, and I feel like it can actually, like, there was reacclimation period, but now like I can play without feeling pain, and I can actually just like try and get better now.
So you were
that's where I am now.
You were a keyboard player before, or?
No, I was pad.
Uh,
DS4 specifically.
So which hand hurt, or was it both hands?
My left actually. It was like in the D-pad movements, like.
So you use your fingers or something, or your thumb?
Yeah, my thumb, like my thumb and my tendon is where I was feeling it. So, it just like the fact that you do more of the motion, you move your wrist more than you do your fingers individually when you're playing on stick. So that's taken the pressure off my finger. It's like, it's weird because it doesn't happen with other game genres. It's just fighters. When I do play fighters, I tend to play like I tend to either play zoners or like charge characters or such. So I was also playing Paprika, and holding charges also was hurting me. So,
Song, does your hands hurt when you play on stick?
Well, first off, I don't play on stick.
Oh wait, you don't play on stick? I thought you played on stick.
No, I do not. I've hated sticks my whole life. So
really?
When I was a kid, when I was like,
I
would see.
That's right. You're you're a DualShock. You're a DualShock.
I'm a DualShock 4, and I've mentioned this before. Like, I mean, in a couple different places, but I saw X-Men: Children of the Atom. I was a huge X-Men fan. I'd see X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Street Fighter in the arcades, and I was just like, oh man, I love these games. They're so cool. And I would try to play them on stick, and it'd just be so hard for me, especially when I got my chance to try to play some of the console versions, even the ones that were no good. And it wasn't until Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on PS2 that I had a chance to play something a little closer to arcade perfect, even though it wasn't the Dreamcast version. But point being that, it wasn't long before, like, it was a combination of Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and between those games, it was just like D-pad is the way for me. As inaccurate as it truly is, it was just something that I could manipulate faster. The stick, I can't feel like I can dash right. I can't DP right. I just can't do anything, and mostly it's probably because I didn't hold it right. But yeah, no stick for me. Although what Klex said about the hand cramping is very true for Velvet. Like, it doesn't happen to me as much anymore, but as I was playing more and more and getting better, it did start to happen to me. And like the calluses were real. I think also on an earlier version of the DualShock 4, and they recently, like within the last year, I think they changed how the DS4 is, or a year and a half. I would get extreme like paint transfer or whatever from the pad onto my thumb, and my thumb would just be this black mess.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I know that definitely happened in the past with like DualShock 3 and other PlayStation D-pads. But the thing about the DualShock 4 and Oreo recently in TFH General was kind of saying that he doesn't, or a friend of his doesn't like it at all, or some other people don't like it, but it has these indents on the D-pad, and it kind of makes for me, it makes for an easier, less painful, like less thumb shreddy experience, the transition, right? For some people, I guess, that loss of tactility decreases their accuracy. Now, being one of the less executionally sound players in TFH, you can't necessarily take my advice on something like this, but I have found that the DualShock 4 for me is the pad of choice. I do need to try like the Razer Fighting Commander or whatever, but I'm gonna be straight up. I don't even remember what the original topic was about, other than Velvet herself. So,
are you distracted by the Velvet on the screen?
No, I was thinking the moment he started saying about the pain it can be to be constantly doing DPs and quarter circles, like just mixing it up too between the two. I was like, yeah, I mean, I relate, you know.
Yeah,
you got any tips for Klex and for other pad players? You do any like exercises or anything to try to avoid injury like that?
I absolutely, well, I was gonna say absolutely don't. I don't have like anything special, but once it does start happening, it is very important to take a break, to take a moment. Don't try to play through the pain. It's also important if you encounter repeat problems that you either need to see someone like to verify that you're not, you know, that you don't have a pre-existing condition or that you haven't caused a condition, like see a medical professional, or consider changing your control scheme or method. I was recommending the same thing to Harmless because she was having some issues with an older version of her keyboard. I think with the newer version, with the newer keyboard style, she's doing better now. But yeah, like pros constantly have to watch themselves. Smash pros in particular, for I mean any Smash players out there know that the melee guys and even the ultimate guys and stuff, but particularly the melee guys, they have to be very conscious of the amount of time they're spending on that GameCube controller. The melee guys in particular have like so many complicated motions per like second that they're doing, second button presses and motions. So and it's not, it's a little bit like it's similar for a fighting game player on a pad, I'd say, depending on the character. But anyways, I see you're pulling up I don't know, is that just for like some thing to talk about while I'm going over the fighting games, or, or did you want to show off your awesome intro?
Sorry. No, it's just like, what do you call it? It's like, I think people are getting bored just looking at the static screen, you know. So I switched out. Sorry if it didn't see.
That's fine. This is kind of become an impromptu podcast.
Yeah. So besides the fighting games you mentioned, you have any other favorite games there, Klex?
I put in a lot of time with Final Fantasy XIV, more as a lover of Final Fantasy as a franchise than as like an MMO elite person thing. I would, to tie this all back into art. My favorite game of all time is Super Mario World 2. I played that game.
Your icon's even like a Yoshi over there, right?
Yes.
Like
yes.
On the Twitter.
Yeah. Yes, FF14 represent. I play on Fairy server, by the way.
My younger brother plays FF14. He plays it a lot.
Yes. But anyhow, like I played Yoshi's Island, like besides it maybe like a store kiosk, like I played it well after the N64 was out by like a couple years, and I remember it looking so much better than anything on N64 and having this really unique look that like Donkey Kong Country didn't like inspire me in the way that Yoshi's Island did, because it tried to go for like this painterly like crayon drawn look, and I remember being captivated by that and wanting to make something like that, and that's a big reason why I started doodling in my notebooks in school back when I was a tot. So
while we're on that while we're on that topic, so when did you start doing art?
Well, unless you're like counting like macaroni doodles, from kindergarten. I started really consistently like drawing in my like. I feel like you start finding doodles more consistently in the margins of my notebooks in like middle school in particular. This is when I really started doing a lot of character doodles and stuff. I had no clue what I was doing, but I did it a lot, and it was just like I already was doing great in class, so like just having a little something else to do while I listened to my teachers and took in what they were saying, like helped me a lot through school. So that I started doodling a lot, and then I think I started posting my art on the internet around 2003, and
How old
they
are you?
I am 31.
Oh, we're the same age.
Well, there you go, Rich.
And Five was here like talking about, oh, I'm 30, I'm old man.
Yeah, I'm 34, so
We're all about this around the same age.
yeah.
Well, there you go.
So when did you switch to digital art?
I made the full jump like in 2010, I think, is when I bought my tablet and started just doing entirely digital. But there's a lot of stuff from like 2006, 2007 where I was like trying to mouse ink and mouse color things, and that's a nightmare. Don't do that.
Oh, you started.
You can't like do like pressure on a mouse.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
like me, I started doing fully digital like what year? 2012, I guess. So you started a lot earlier than me, but I was using Photoshop for a long time before that. How about you?
I think for a little bit I was using Photoshop. Keyword is for a little bit, but I also was using Open Canvas. And I said this in Candle Stream, but I use like Open Canvas and Draw Pile with Hamachi because people were commenting that Candle had Hamachi on the desktop, and we're joking about that. So I did a lot of Open Canvas for like friends and stuff, and then I got Paint Tool Sci. Yeah, Draw Pile is rad. I'm 100% with you on that.
What is Draw Pile?
It's basically a program where you could share canvases with people on a network. And like
cool.
People can just draw wherever on the giant canvas or come over and graffiti all over your hard work.
So you have any tips you'd like to give for aspiring artists?
Like I'm gonna give some tips that are pretty similar to what Candle gave like 2 hours ago. Watch other people, watch yourself, and like try and pick out things that you could be doing. Read materials. I always think of it as like quite a bit of doing like digital art is like a trade craft, and there is techniques. There are things to learn. Yes, there is a bit of like just proper technique of like holding a pen and being able to do things consistently. But there's a lot of things you could do that are like digital techniques to fudge things. Like Paint Tool Sci has a great thing where it's like a line stabilizer that like will help you make your inks a lot straighter.
Yeah, those things are like lifesavers sometimes.
Yeah, yes, they are amazing. a lot of the magic I learned with layers is from like watching other people stream and then seeing a thing they do and asking them, how did you do that? I would like to try that myself. And then just like studying, like also just study life, like look at things, see how things react to light and how materials work when they're that, and use reference, use lots and lots and lots of reference.
And speaking of that, do you have any favorite artists that
I like I like your sort of modern Japanese artists is a lot of where I get a lot of what I like. Your folks like Yoichi Kotabe, Yoshitaka Amano. I like I'm trying to remember his name. Oh no, I'm spaced on his name. He does a bunch of art for like Magic the Gathering. I think he did a lot of the art for Pathfinder and D&D 4th edition. And I'm totally spacing on his name. And I knew it, like, hold on. Well, let me look this up. This might help me.
Are you telling me that you're not prepared for our stream?
No, no, it's okay. The gentleman I'm thinking of is named Wayne Reynolds. He, as I said, he did a lot of art for Magic the Gathering. He's done a fair bit of stuff for Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, etc. He does a lot of fantasy stuff that has a lot of like sharp angles on it, and it's very dynamic and actiony. And I always enjoy it when I see his art show up on like a new Magic card or something. And then also just some of your traditionally cartoony folks. You can probably think of them one off the top of your head if you know anything about them's Fightin herds. So,
and
her name starts with an L.
What was I gonna say again? Thanks for joining us. Like, I was actually just needed you like maybe 10-15 minutes, and because our other artists like canceled, so it's been you the whole time, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Thank us. Thank us. You thank us now. Thank you.
Thank us by giving us money.
Yeah. Thank you for coming out.
I suppose I do have a little bit more. Let me go find the link. I will totally donate right now.
Oh, I mean you don't have to. It's just
I got a little bit of change to give.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate it. I know all the international players that are in the queue appreciate it as well.
Yep. And thank you for bringing them out. I was kind of appalled that I didn't know that Combo Breaker was a local thing to me. I was like, wow, that's literally like a 40-minute drive from my house. I've driven over there before. Oh my God.
I mean, the thing about that kind of thing is that Combo Breaker is a big FGC event, but if you're not in FGC circles, even as somebody who likes a fighting game or two, you may still not know about it. Like if you're not following constantly big FGC like tournaments and whatnot. You said you're 40 minutes away. 40 minutes is close, but it's still not something like if you were like 20 minutes away from the Mega Center and stuff and you didn't know that was happening, I'd be a little bit surprised, because it kind of dominates the area.
It's because it's like a town south from where my grandparents live. So
yeah, but it's totally fine, man.
Yeah, cool beans. And
before you're gonna still stick around because we're gonna switch over to Castle Crashers soon.
I do not have Castle Crashers myself, and I'm willing to let you take control for that one. So I'm probably gonna peace out. But
before you, is it fine if we a few more questions as closing? So I mean, just like
sure.
Keep it like a little quick.
Sure.
Just any comments on your cause you did the art for Match Commentary 25, and thank you so much for this. It looks great. I bet Song really Five over there really loves it, don't you, Five?
You dare to approach Velvet?
Yeah, like I kind of wanted to make her look a little menacing here, because I like the moment I started hearing Velvet voice lines, I got sort of the headcanon that maybe Velvet's a little bit more unhinged than she may come off as at first glance.
And but she's that good type of unhinged. She's that type, she's totally confident and totally a little arrogant, lot arrogant. But like, yeah, once you start listening to more and more of the voice lines, she's like a little bit on the stabby murdery side.
Yes, she definitely is, and
she is out to bust some heads.
So yeah, I kind of wanted to have something heavily in shadow to make her look powerful and imposing and stuff. So
yeah.
Oh, and you got any sites you wanna promote? So I have yeah, I know you have a DeviantArt and a Twitter.
Yeah. You can hit me up at klexyoshi.deviantart.com or twitter.com/klexyoshi. I do have a Picardo. I don't stream that regularly, and I'm not gonna bother promoting it. But you can probably find it if you follow me around various social media.
Yeah, I noticed you have a Twitter also, right?
Yes. Twitter.com/klexyoshi. Blah, blah, blah.
And oh, you made a tip. I didn't see this. Sorry, we're late on this. Wishy tipped $3.33. 4 minutes ago, said, "Told ya."
See, I told you I was
Told you.
Pitching.
Anyway, you have any closing comments before you head off?
If you folks are soldiering through this stream right now, Godspeed and keep donating. I mean it. Keep donating. I want to see more people come out here. I want to see more people compete in Combo Breaker. I want to see more people have deep dish pizza.
Well, it's not just about deep dish pizza, because right around Combo Breaker we got there's a Culver's, which a lot of people even people in the US don't know what Culver's is, and
there's a Culver's that can get your frozen custard.
There's also Portillo's, which was also, I went to both places. I'd forgotten about Portillo's, to be honest, but
it's amazing. It's one of my favorite places.
It's really good.
I always get a hot dog. I always get a cake shake. Sometimes I'll get Italian beef. Sometimes I'll get a burger. But I love Portillo's.
Outside of those two places, I just got room service in the Holiday Inn, so which wasn't bad, but that's not like regional food.
Yeah, exactly. I can, if I end up meeting up with you guys at Combo Breaker, I could totally recommend some places. But
yeah, well, we hope to see you there. The one problem we'll of course have is we're gonna have a lot of people, not a lot of vehicles, and there are places like Portillo's, Culver's, and the restaurant attached to Mega Center. They're all right there. They're very walkable, but after that point, it can be a little bit harder without a vehicle. It's kind of just a long straight road. So
yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, maybe I'll see if I can help out with that a little bit. All right. But yeah, thank you for having me on.
All right, thanks a lot. I almost called you Klex. I was gonna say, thanks a lot, Wishy.
You're good, Song.
No, man, it's Five. we must own our name changes. We must own them.